Hi, my name is Peake from Twin Peaks Fly Fishing, and in this episode we're going to talk about the single spey cast. So first of all, what is spey casting? Well, spey casting was developed in the 1800s on the River Spey, where they had to be able to cast across quite a wide river with limited space behind them, tree-lined banks where they weren't able to overhead cast. So spey casting was formed, which is a way of using a long length of line, landing an anchor and creating a D-loop, so you can cast long distances across a river with very limited space behind you. It's also a very good cast because it doesn't take long to execute. There's not lots of movement to it. It's a nice fluid movement where we set up that anchor and cast it out, so we spend more time fishing and less time casting. The only downside of the single spey that I could say is it's not the easiest cast to master when you're a beginner. The reason for that is because we're lifting that line and we're maintaining tension of that line through the air and landing the anchor. That does take an element of skill and an element of experience using a double-handed fly rod. So, you know, we wouldn't start a casting lesson with a single spey if you're a complete beginner. We'd probably begin with a double spey or a Circle C. But once you master the single spey, it is without doubt the go-to cast for possibly 70–80% of your fishing when you've got an upstream wind or no wind situation. So before we get started on how to do the cast, I want to have a little look at the grip. So this is a 14-foot double-handed fly rod. It's got two handles. The upper hand is used to guide the rod around. There's very, very little power used in this top hand. Okay, it guides where the rod goes, where to land the anchor, and the direction of that forward cast. So it's very important that we hold it with a loose, relaxed grip. We never want to see white knuckles through a clenched fist there. That's always going to ruin your cast. So I like to use what we call the key grip, and that is index finger underneath, thumb on top, and a loose, relaxed grip. Simply how you would hold a key to a car door. Okay? Sometimes we'll even find that we just cradle it through an open palm. You know, we've just got to make sure that we've got a very loose, relaxed grip on here. Now the bottom hand, however, is our driving force. That's how we flex the rod, coming back to set the anchor and the D-loop, and forward to flex that rod against the weight of the line. So it's very important that we hold the rod right at the bottom end of the cork, and I like to make a circle with my finger and thumb and just go around the cork and pull right back so you're sat on that ball shape on the back of the cork there. You can also go key grip, thumb on top, index finger underneath. That's also a really good grip. What we don't want to see is that bottom hand right the way up with the thumb on top coming to the back of the reel, because that's going to make you use more top hand, which we don't want to do. So just to recap, loose, relaxed grip, very loose on the upper hand, imagine you're holding the key to a car door, and then make sure you've got it right, holding it right at the bottom end of that bottom cork for maximum leverage. Okay, so we're going to have a look at where to start with that single spey. So to begin with, always start with your feet. So choose your target where you'd like to cast to. I'm going to cast to about 60 degrees here. And because we've got an upstream wind, we're going to be fishing from our upstream shoulder. So I'm going to put my right foot in line with the target. I'm going to put my left foot also slightly behind, also in line with the target. So both feet are facing the target. From here, we're going to address the line below. So I'm going to turn my body and I'm going to address the line that's down on the dangle. So there's a slight twist against the knees here. Here we're going to start with the reel against our left hip on the inside side. We never want to be starting over here with our arms under our armpits or our elbows. Always start with the rod on the opposite side of your body and the rod tip down at the water. So this should be the starting point for every single spey. Our feet are facing the target. We're twisting our body back down to address the line below. So from here we're going to begin with a slow vertical lift. That's going to relieve some tension from the line on the water. And then we're going to turn our body. And as we turn our body, you'll notice that we've made that angle change. Our hands haven't done anything yet, we've just simply lifted and turned to address the target. So once the rod's facing the target and our feet are full in alignment, all we're going to do is we're going to push that bottom hand out and raise the top hand up. We're going to let that anchor land, and we're going to make the forward cast. So we'll just show you that again in real time. So we're going to twist to address the line below. Slow vertical lift, just to relieve tension. We're going to turn our body and accelerate with the bottom hand out and top hand up. So you'll notice that the anchor's landing around about a rod length away from me here, and it's landing facing the target. So the D-loop and the anchor is in full alignment with where I want to cast. So when do we make the forward cast? How do we know when to make the forward cast? Well, it's what we call a touch and go cast or a kiss and go cast. So as we accelerate back and lift, as we do the upwards motion into that second lift, that's going to force the anchor down to land. As we come round, we're going to lift, turn our body, we're going to accelerate our bottom hand out and top hand up. Anchor lands, make that forward cast. And you should see that D-loop forming under the rod tip just before you make the forward delivery. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers for now.